Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Christian Bias, aka Deacon Make a Move, and I've had, what they say, a chip on your shoulder. I've had a really big chip on my shoulder, like a really big one, because I was really surprised. And not just surprised at the people that were around me and were capable of doing something, but I was surprised at myself, because I was able to do something, or well, I was in a position to do something, and I was just in that position thinking about why I'm not doing it. I'm thinking about what needs to be done, but I'm not doing anything. I'm not contributing to anything, but yet I have an opinion on what needs to be done. I worked for the YWCA Metropolitan Chicago as a contact tracer. I was 20 years old, and at that age I was making really good money with the YWCA. And this is when COVID started. And as you all know, COVID's been on for about 2 years now. So when COVID started, I had a front row seat at the people who were laid off, people who couldn't get benefits because they were laid off too quick, or people who just don't qualify for, the food stamps, or, whatever the case is. I've had many encounters with people because the YWCA ran a food distribution when COVID started. You were able to pick up a free meal at 1 or 3 of the 7 locations that the YWCA had in Chicago. And I will always, before I even got my job there, I was volunteering at the food distribution, one nearest to my house. And, I just got a front row seat to everything. I got a front row seat to everything. Even watching the news and then seeing the impact in real life, just, it really did something to me. My encounters with people, when they would say, I need help, I need services that the YWCA aren't able to offer, or services, or asking me favors that I can't even do. And I realized that the unawareness or the ignorance that some people had of non-for-profits and the locations of non-for-profits. And I really wanted to enlighten them or educate them on some of the locations. Even educate myself, because I had a really big ignorance to non-for-profits as well. I wanted to teach people, not teach people, but inform and make people aware of services and programs near them that they say that they need desperately. And I really wanted to do something. I couldn't do anything right then in that moment, but I was just thinking about doing nothing. I'm not doing something, and I'm also thinking about how I'm not doing that, which ultimately I'm not contributing to anything. But when conversations come up, which they often do, when they come up of what needs to happen in the communities, or what needs to happen in our nation or world, 85% of those people aren't contributing. And to the people that are contributing, we always have something to say. And I believe since we have something to say, I myself have something to say, I should get off my butt and do something. And besides, I've always had the feeling that I need to do something more than just be behind a desk, because I feel like I was never made to be behind a desk. I was made to be in the field. I was made to do something, to be doing something. I can't just sit and do nothing. And I guess it took COVID, or it took a real disaster to shake the whole world for me to understand that there are real needs. And just because I'm able to make a good check, there are thousands, millions of people in our world that just needs real help. And I see the blessings, I see the luck that I was able to have. And I'm just thinking, am I able to just keep doing what I'm doing and ignore what is so obvious sitting in my face, the need and the answer that is so obvious in my face? Am I able to just live and make a really good check? Well, don't get me wrong, it's going to be pretty good money. Am I able to just do that? And I had to really think. That really kept me up at night. I had to really consider, because what I was thinking, maybe I should give more time. Maybe I can maneuver around my job that can help. Maybe I could do something for the greater good. So I wanted to provide to that need. I wanted to add to that. That's where I started. I was telling myself, I'm doing nothing, so I'm nowhere. I'm not doing anything, so I'm nowhere. But if I just start somewhere, I'm somewhere, and I can build from there. So I started filming. And one of the people that I was filming, you know, she was doing food distribution in Chicago. And, you know, she was basically giving away millions. She gave away, COVID started 9 months, almost a year, 2-3 months. She's giving away over 1 million pounds of food, you know, to the communities around Chicago. I mean, she's doing a really good job. And she became basically a partner, one of my partners, and she allowed me to give away food at another location in Gary, Indiana. You know, Gary, Indiana, they have such many food deserts. Like, many neighborhoods have food deserts. Like, there are neighborhoods in Gary, Indiana, where you cannot walk to a grocery store. You need to literally drive, get on the highway, drive miles to just get to a grocery store. There are literally food deserts. And I looked up some of the food banks, and most of the food banks that are in Gary, Indiana are in Maryville. So I decided, hey, you know, they're out here. COVID started, you know, it's a really big need for food. I can grow, I can evolve into that. So not only was I filming, but I started dealing with food. And just me dealing with food, I realized that, hey, I don't even have enough to deal with the people that are to deal with 100 families in this community. You know, I need to get myself in a position that can let me operate on a bigger scale because there's such a need. And that's when I came to the realization that my mind evolved again to a non-for-profit. You know, and I had to think of a name, and I had to think of why I wanted to do that and what the programs that I want to have in a non-for-profit. And I realized, hey, you know, I live in a country that is very race-based. You know, we have different diverse races in our nation, you know, but we're really divided. You know, we have a really big division, you know, when it just comes to race talk. And I want to shine a light on how we all are just human race. So I said, hey, why not why we are one? Why not show why we are one? You know, and all the things that we do, when we make a deal, when a black person and a white person, when they make a deal, that shows why they are one. When me, a white man, a Hispanic man, an Asian man, you know, when we come and collaborate, that is showing why we are one. And there's, like I said, our nation is extremely diverse. So why can't we just, and I was surprised that no one had the name Warrior One, just to put it out there. I was really surprised. Look, I'm young, man. Look, I'm really young. Somebody could have had Why We Are One. But that's a lot of the reasons why I'm doing. Because some of the things that I feel that I'm commenting on, instead of commenting on it, I'm going to do it. I'm gonna add to that part of change. I'm going to go ahead and put something on that part, because I can sit here and talk to another individual, and we can sit here and we can have a conversation on what's going bad in the world. We can have a conversation on what person got, what black man got racially profiled by the police. We can go ahead and have a conversation on what wars or what president we don't like or what leader we don't like. But what are we doing? What are those two individuals doing? What are me and that person doing? We're just bickering, but we're not adding to anything. So I decided I'm going to stop talking and add to something. I'm going to add something positive. You know, I want to be able to shine a light on the resources that we have in our community. I want to give food to our communities. There are other things I want to do in our communities, but I have not yet got to that point, so I'm not going to say it right now. But tune in for my next episode. I'm back with you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Deacon Make a Move, and I'm out.